And the seventh day concludes tonight with the Yes post-show special right here on KC95. I'm Al Hofer. Kick back and enjoy. Yes.
Welcome to exclusive coverage of the rock and roll event of the year, the Yes Tour, 1984. Richard Neal. And for the next half hour, we're going on the road with Yes. We'll be hearing the members of the band talk about their 1984 tour, their smash hit album, 90125, and some of the great songs that have sustained Yes as a major factor in rock and roll over the past decade. Tonight's show is being brought to you by Sparkomatic Car Sound, the equipment that delivers in-concert performance in car sound. We'll be back with Yes, on tour and on the radio, right after this.
She hasn't got time to make you a wife. Cause it's time with your time, and this news is captured for the queen to use. Move me on to any black square. Use me anytime you want. Just remember that we go as far as all to capture all we want. Yeah. Don't surround yourself with yourself. Move on back to squares. Send an instant comment to me. Initially with loving care for yourself. Cause it's time with your time, and this news is captured for the queen to use. Cause it's time with your time, and this news is captured. See no good people turn their heads instead, just satisfied I'm on my way. See no good people turn their heads instead, just satisfied I'm on my way. See no good people turn their heads instead, just satisfied I'm on my way. See no good people turn their heads to stay so satisfied I'm on my way. I see no good people turn their heads to stay so satisfied I'm on my way. I see no good people turn their heads to stay so satisfied I'm
Yes keyboardist Tony Kaye.
We've got some fairly revolutionary stuff happening in terms of keyboards, where we're using a pretty revolutionary system where there are minimum of keyboards on stage, but rather a lot of them off stage that are all being coupled in to the single ones on stage to make a big sound, using a new development called MIDI interfacing. So that's a new development that's happened as far as keyboards are concerned.
In addition to helping create a bigger sound on stage, these technical developments have helped Yes to finally spawn their first #1 single. Here's longtime Yes drummer Alan White.
We were all in different parts of the world when we found out, and it was kind of like we weren't really absolutely ready for it yet. We worked so hard on this record that, you know, we kind of keeping our fingers crossed and not looking and hoping it would make #1. And when it did make #1, it was kind of, oh yeah, it did it, you know. And actually, I found out it was #1. I was in Vancouver getting my visa to work in America, and I got a phone call from the office saying, "You're #1," and then the next sentence was, "Trevor's just been injured in Miami and the tour's put back a month." So I got it all at the same time. So it was good and bad news.
Bass player Chris Squire on the production of 90125.
We basically all got involved in the process of the creation of it, and of course, you know, Trevor Rabin, the new guitarist, has as much a kind of a stamp on the album too through his style as, you know, Trevor Horn does through the fact he'd just been, you know, doing the albums with Malcolm McLaren and ABC and people like that, which are different areas of music from Yes. And so I suppose just the combined influences of all those people's, you know, experiences, you know, went into making this album what it is.
You can fool yourself. You can cheat until
From the album 90125, It Can Happen. Yes, on tour and on the radio. We'll return in a moment.
You're listening to the best of rock on KSHE 95.
Welcome back to Yes, on tour and on the radio. Lead guitarist and newest member of the Yes family, Trevor Rabin.
It's strange how the band came together. It wasn't going to be called Yes, it was going to be called Cinnamon. There's no intention of calling it Yes when we got together. I've been asked by a couple of people, "Oh, there must be a lot of pressure on you, you know, joining Yes." I didn't join Yes, you know, I joined the band with Chris and Alan. It was very loose, and if it didn't happen, I would have just done another solo record and produced it. But it sort of merged into, sort of became Yes. So when John's voice went on, that's when we decided, well, we should call it Yes. I'm the only guy in the band that wasn't a member, that's never been a member of Yes. So it'd be silly not to call it Yes, as some of it does sound like Yes. My first feeling, though, was because I'd written 90% of the album, I thought, well, it's not really Yes, because Yes came from guys creating the music, whereas here it was just the Yes guys playing on someone else's songs. That's how it all started. I'd had all these demos together, which I was going to be doing on my solo record. But it did sound like Yes, and everyone contributed to the writing and, you know, to certain changes within the songs. So we called it Yes.
Yes lead vocalist John Anderson.
We got together last year, about 2 months after we finished the album, and we started to have a jam, a strawberry jam, and just enjoy playing together. So when you come to put a tour together, you have to rely on about 30 other people who are going to put the stage and the lighting and everything together. But still, the 5 of us have got to work very hard. I mean, we've been working hard, really putting all the music together and to make it sound as good as the record, if not better sometimes. You hope that you can reproduce the sounds on stage, and with the modern technology around, the modern keyboards, you can really reproduce on stage what you do get on record. It's still hard work, but we all needed to lose a few pounds anyway.
I'll be the roundabout. The words will make you out and out. I spend the day your way. Calling morning, driving through the south, in and out the valley. The music dance and sing. They make the children reading. I spend the day your way. Calling morning, driving through the south, even in the valley. Painting around the lake. Mountains fell out of the sky. The sun there. Walk all over with you there, we'll see you. Take your summers with me there, nothing true. 24 minutes, you'll see, I'll be there with you. I will remember you, your silhouette will charge the view of distant atmosphere. Calling morning, driving through the south, even in the valley. In and around the lake, and the mountains come out of the sky. We stand there. Come on over, we'll be there, we'll see you. Take your summers with you there, nothing true. 24 people might have you see, I'll be there with you. Thank you so much, really so much, yeah.
Yes, on the radio and presently on tour here in America. An event you certainly won't want to miss. We'll be back after this. Tonight's special, yes, on tour and on the radio, has been brought to you by Sparkomatic Car Sound, the equipment that delivers in-concert performance in car sound. Yes, on tour and on the radio is a production of DIR Broadcasting. Executive producers Bob Meyerowitz.